Hi guys. In this video I'm going to be looking at improper fractions and specifically how can we compare improper fractions. So if we think of a regular fraction or a proper fraction, we can think of something that's like that, 1/2. And we know that 1/2 means if you have, let's say, a chocolate bar, then that would be 1/2 of the chocolate bar. If we have 2/2 of a chocolate bar, then we know we have a whole chocolate bar. So the top of the fraction tells us how much we have, and the bottom of the fraction tells us out of how many. Now, if we think about improper fractions, what that means is that the number on the top is actually bigger than the number on the bottom. So in this case, we have 9/2 of something. And so what we can do is we want to turn that into what's called a mixed number. We want to know how many wholes do we have, and then how many bits or how many pieces or what fraction do we have left over. So if we want to draw this out, we can say, well, I know I have 9/2. I'm just going to draw a whole bunch of little chocolate bars here. I'm going to split them all in half. And I'm going to color in 9/2. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And now when I think about this in terms of whole chocolate bars and half chocolate bars, instead of saying I have 9/2, I can say I've got 4 whole chocolate bars and a half. And we write that like this, with a big 4, because that's how many whole chocolate bars I have, and I have one more half. Now, that's the math behind it. If we don't want to draw out that many chocolate bars every time, we can do this. And we can say, if I've got 9/2, I know that 2 goes into 9 4 whole times. So I'm going to have 4 holes. And there's going to be 1/2 left over, because 4 2s is 8. So to get to 9, I have one more half. And just to show you that again, let's say I've got, let's say 13/5. So I can draw out a bunch of chocolate bars. And I can split those chocolate bars into fifths. And I can color in 13 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And so if I look at this, I see I've got 2 whole chocolate bars, and I've got 1, 2, 3 fifths. So that's the math behind it. Or I can look at this and say, well, 5 goes into 13 2 whole times. That would give me 10, and I'd have 3 left over. So 2 and 3/5. Now the last thing we need to be able to do is compare improper fractions. So let's go back to our 9/2 for a second. If someone comes to you and says, I have 9/2 of a chocolate bar, someone else says, well, I've got 13/5 of a chocolate bar, we need to know which one's bigger and which one is more. So we can draw that out again, and we can say, well, 9/2 we knew was 4 1/2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 4 holes and a half. 13/5 we just did. We can draw this out again if we want to. And we can split these all into fifths. We can color in 13 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that was 2 holes and 3/5. So if I'm looking at this, I know that 9/2 is always going to be bigger than 13/5 because that's 4 whole chocolate bars, and this is only 2 whole chocolate bars. Using that, see if you can figure out that milk chugging contest question that I showed you, and I'll post the answer for that later.